Hi guys, how are you? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Priscilla. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for loving the videos. I've received excellent feedback from all of you, and it gives me so much joy that many of you love the videos. So please keep it up, keep subscribing, keep sharing, and yeah, keep coming back and let us learn, let us share, let us just grow together. So today I'm here to talk about something that I still struggle with, something that is an ongoing struggle. It's called the imposter syndrome. So I know that many of you have experienced this. I know that many of my friends we have had this discussion among many of my friends, and we keep saying, oh my god, we feel like we don't belong, we feel like, so many of you may be wondering, what is imposter syndrome? So I have my notes, as usual. Anyway, so imposter syndrome, basically, for what I know and what I've read and what I've experienced, is it's all in the mind. It's a psychological pattern or of doubt, like where you feel like you don't belong in a certain space, or where you feel like you're not good enough. There's many other feelings that come along with that, but what the internet says, that imposter syndrome is a psychological pattern of doubt where individuals doubt their accomplishments, or you have a persistent internalized fear of being exposed as a fraud. And when I say this, I laugh because it's a feeling that I so know, like at least once a month I feel like a fraud, So I totally understand when I talk about imposter syndrome. I'm a victim, is it a survivor? Anyway, but yeah, like, I am in it. Like every other day I feel like, I don't belong. Oh my god, I've been discovered. I'm not good enough. Anyway, so let's talk about the feelings that come with imposter syndrome. So the first feeling that I have experienced is the feeling of I don't belong here. So it's like I've been in meetings before and I feel like, I don't think I should be the one sitting here. I shouldn't be here. I should be someone else. Or even like sometimes going to a high-end restaurant and you feel like, oh, I don't belong. And there's no one who's telling you don't belong. No one is even chasing your way. In fact, people are welcoming you. But it's all in the mind, like, this mind, oh my god, like if anyone can never tell us the battle of the mind. Anyway, so that's the first feeling that I usually experience. I feel the feeling like I don't belong in certain spaces. Then the second thing that I experience often is the feeling that my opinion does not matter. And I've been wanting to do a video about this. Maybe one day I will, but like sometimes you're in meetings or even just among your out in a social gathering, but because you have this imposter syndrome, you feel like you don't want to express yourself, so you don't speak up because you feel like your opinion does not matter. And like usually in my head I know what I want to say, like I have played it out. I sometimes even write it down on the paper because I know in my head what I want to say, but sometimes it does not come out, and then you're like, after the meeting you're beating yourself up because you knew the right thing to say but you didn't say it. Or even like after social, like a networking event, or you're like out at dinner with people that like for example, my first dinner when I traveled, I felt like I didn't belong because I didn't have an experience to share. I felt like maybe my experience is who will care about them. I'm a simple girl from Uganda, who even cares about Kampala, and my experience is in Kampala, so sometimes you feel so small and you just sit there and you just want to say, let me just eat my food, and and then sometimes people come up to you and say, oh, you're so quiet, you come off as proud. If only they knew that you just keep him quiet because in your head you're having such a battle because you feel like a fraud. That's my experience. Like sometimes I just shut up, not because I don't have anything to say, but because sometimes I feel like I don't belong in those spaces. I don't belong, with those people. Anyway, then my other third feeling that I've experienced is the feeling that my experience is not worth sharing. I'll give an example. I have always started a YouTube channel. Like I love talking to a camera. Like it's just so much fun. So, but like, how you feel like who will listen to you? Your experience does not matter. It's not worth sharing. Like, who gives a damn about what you've been through? What do you even have to say? Like you discount yourself, and no one is really discounting you. Like for example, now we are 70 of us who like to talk, to talk together. So and for me that's a big thing. But because we have this imposter syndrome, and truth be told, research has shown that women actually suffer from imposter syndrome more than men. And all this, it's a whole system that has made us believe that we are not good enough, we don't belong in certain places, we should shut up, keep quiet. Like for a long time, I struggle to speak in public. Like I still sometimes get scared sometimes. Even in meetings, sometimes my voice is shaking, but I always remind myself of there's a quotation, I don't even know who said it, but it says, speak up even if your voice is shaking. Like just do it, like the Nike thing, just do it. So even if my voice is shaking, I'll say, you know what, Pisa, you have to push yourself to speak, because if you don't push yourself to speak, no one will hear your opinion. And yet sometimes after you speak, will come and say, oh my god, what you said was right, I can understand, I relate, I like your idea, and then you're like, oh, okay, I belong here. So it's baby steps. Every time you go to a meeting and you speak, or you go to a table and you speak, you get better, you get more confident. So it's like courage is a muscle. You have to exercise it. And the imposter syndrome, oh my god, like it all holds it, at least for me, it really sometimes holds me back, and I can beat myself up after, like I should have said this, should have said that, I should have said this. And also imposter syndrome is over analyzing after like a meeting, or after like an interview, or even after like a public lecture or something. You go back and you say, why did I say this? Did I say this? Did I, then you start to, like, you go through your friends, the people who are in the audience, their faces. Why did you smell when I said this? I thought this was very brilliant. Like, come on. You did your job. You did it well. Stop. Anyway, that is me. That's my experience. Then my other thought that usually comes across as imposter syndrome is thinking that everything has already been done. Like, if you're in a field like I'm a lawyer, and if you're in certain fields, it feels like, what new thing can you really bring on the table? Like, what new thing can you really bring? If you like, sometimes you feel like, I'm sure it has all been done, but that's just imposter syndrome telling you, because it may have been done, but it's not been done by you. It's not been done with your own perspective. It's not like, there's also so many different variables that make things change or make things look different. So sometimes I stop myself from being creative, or from starting a new project at work, because I feel like, it's already been done, but so if it's been done, then none from, like, just imposter syndrome is just really holding me back at least. So yeah. Then my last feeling that usually comes with imposter syndrome, this one, Bambi, I still struggle with even ever since high school. Anyway, this one is thinking I'm not cool, I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough, like, so it's that one is a fear that has plagued me since my high school, since now. Like, I used to play basketball in high school, so I should have been like the cool kids, but I still felt I'm not cool enough, because I didn't know about New York, or I didn't go to those holidays everyone was going to, or because I just didn't have my experience was different from everyone else's experience. So I felt that I'm not cool enough, that I'm not smart enough. I was not a mathematician, truth be told. I was excellent when it came to the art subjects, but because I was in a school that glorified sciences, I felt like I was not smart. Like, so I would beat myself up, compare myself, and I've made a video in comparison. If you don't watch it, please go down and watch it. And it's just such a thief of joy. But also thinking that I'm not good enough. Like, whenever I knew I was a very stubborn child, even in high school, even in primary. Like, so whenever they would read, like, even if I've not committed a crime or something, or not a crime, but I've not been naughty, but because in my head I believed what everyone says, you're not good enough, you're so stubborn. Whenever they would say, today we have a list of people who have been maybe doing something, and I know I wasn't there, but for some reason I would still feel guilty. I don't know if you guys can relate, So I'm like, why in the world am I feeling guilty when I know that I was not there? So that's the imposter syndrome. So, like, I wish I could say that I've overcome it. I wish I could say that I have come a long way, that I've made progress in certain areas. I now speak up more. I'm not plagued as much with doubt in terms of being cool and smart. Now it's no longer really a priority for me to be cool and to be smart. I don't need to fit in anymore. I have made peace with the fact that I am me, I'm Priscilla, I'm very unique, I'm very extra, I'm very different, and I've made peace with that. But I still get plagued by imposter syndrome. Sometimes I think like I don't belong here, and being a black woman, it's even worse. Like, there's places where you go to and you're the only black person. That can even sometimes like make imposter syndrome, you know, much bigger because of all these internalized fraud, internalized thoughts, internalized biases that we have. So yeah, that's my story with imposter syndrome. And it's a journey for me. I cannot say I've arrived. I cannot say that I have overcome, but I can say I've greatly improved. And I hope I can make a video to just share my tips, maybe part 2 of this video probably, to just share some of the tips that have worked for me to overcome a bit of my imposter syndrome. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked the video. Please share with me your imposter syndrome experiences. How are you overcoming it? If you have overcome, please share with all of us in the comment section below. Please subscribe, like, and share the video. So thank you so much.